Today is March the 4th. As a matter of fact, let me write that in my notes. All right, so today is uh March the 4th, 2025. Today is Tuesday, and I know that took me a minute to say that, but I have a lot of things on my mind, and I was thinking about what I was about to say. Um, Other than the date and what my topic of this conversation was going to be, because it is going to be very quick. Um, I'm going to, I don't want to leave the house at the same time that I did yesterday, but it is what it is. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. If I leave later or earlier, if I don't leave at all. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that I need to do something to get out of the house. Um, so, um, so what I want to make this live about um, is I want to document what God told me last night and today. And so what happened, I got up this morning. Let me start from last night. So last night I went to bed, and I went to bed and I was uh, just tired in my spirit, and I asked God to um, speak to me, that I was listening. And I told him that I was tired of the lies around me, and that I was tired of um, people accusing me of being everything other than who he says I am. And I know that in this life, you can't be necessarily worried about what people say about you. But to a certain degree, when it's coming from certain people, it matters. And so, long story short, I prayed and I went to sleep. And I asked God to speak to me, and that speak to all of my enemies and let them know that he was speaking to me and that he was with me. So prior to that prayer last night, before I went to bed, I wrote in my tablet, and it was about 11:15 p.m. and I was writing to TD Jakes Spellbreaker, and I already had in my heart, in my mind, like within the last 2 days, to go ahead and start journaling about Atlanta. And so I felt it coming. So I started last night. And in the process of that message, it was T.D. Jakes told, I constantly was at one part. God kept taking me to one part. Not only the part where she sings, but where he is prophesying to Eddie Long, but he's not the prophecy part. It's the part where he's talking about a passage in the Bible about Philip. And so, even though I'm not a man, that God chose to use that because that was confirmation as to what I heard, that he spoke prophecies in the city and made the city great. And so I was doing that while I was listening to TD Jakes. I was journaling about Atlanta, and all of these ideas started coming to me that God had already put in my heart. And so, but I was able to expound on them a lot more. So I left off, went to bed 11:15, which is 8, and 8 is new as far as the spiritual definition. So I left off from that, closed it out, laid down, prayed, said the prayer, went to bed. Woke up this morning, motivated, put my makeup on. I'm getting ready to get out of the house, find something to do, and got out of got myself all dressed up. Makeup, and did my hair. And then Psalms 18 came on by Todd Delaney. And so I felt the Holy Spirit says, get the Bible. So I went, got the Bible. And when I got the Bible, I opened it, and everybody that has ever watched this knows that when I open the Bible, God picks the pages for me. And it's been going on like that for years. So I don't do it unless he says so, and I don't, or unless I feel, that I'm told. And it's not necessarily a feeling. It's just, I don't know, because and it's not, I don't want it to seem like I don't like saying that, because if I do, I don't want to leave room, but the Lord just told me that nobody can't play with what he have to say. So I don't worry about that. So I'm not going to say that. But every time I open the Bible and I ask God for confirmation, he gives it to me from what I've already been doing, heard, and what is going on. And I opened my Bible this morning, and I opened it to Acts chapter 8, the ministry of Philip, and to the exact verse, which is, and the people with one accord gave heed unto those things which Philip had spake, hearing and seeing the miracles which he had did. And skip down to end there in that little passage, but skipping down to the main part, and there was great joy in that city. And so that's what the message was about. That's what I was writing about. And that is what God said this morning, that people listened. They took heed to it. And so, and then the most awesome thing about the whole thing was it was at 10:50 this morning, which was on the 6th. And I was so happy because it was that confirmation from the Lord. Like, one word from him made everything. It changes your whole trajectory and dynamic of everything, because it's like one word from God makes everything all the better. It makes it new and fresh, and I felt motivated. I haven't felt this good in a long time. And it's simply because I just, I trusted him. You know, when he said, when I went to bed, I just knew, I told the Lord, I want to hear from you. If I don't see you in my dreams, then I want to see you when I get up. But I need to see you. I need to see you, and I want you to show my enemies that you with me. And I'm going to sit back while you talk out loud, or however you choose to work. But David prayed and said, Lord, not only don't let my enemies triumph over me, but don't let me look bad. You know, like these people that have been doing stuff to me are in great positions, you know, and I know that what God put in my heart and in my mind and in my spirit, I can't make that up. I've been doing it since I was 9 years old. And I just remember going down to my grandma's house at 1534 Twig Street and saying, I don't understand why black people down here have to live this way. This is not making sense to me. And we need to do something about it. I just remember that conversation. And then I remember turning, uh, always being in the room with chalk and a board and playing teacher. Just in like my whole childhood playing teacher. And I used to love the red ink pens from grade school. When I was in elementary school, the teachers used to give me their red grading pens, and I used to just write. And so when I turned 18, 17 or 18, I registered, I think 18, I registered at Kerr Business College that wasn't accredited. And I was going for to be and get into pharmacy. And so that's why the devil wants to make it look like I sell drugs, to take away the prophecy that God put in my life and in my heart when I was a kid. I saw it back then, and I said, this, I think that I'm just supposed to, if I told my mom at first I wanted to work for the government. So that was always in my heart. Always. I said, I want to go. Mommy said, no, that's not a place for women. And so that was always, I saw myself government. And then after that, it was, okay, well, then I'll do pharmacy tech. I want to be a pharmacist. And so I started the path to it. I got a little bit into medical terminology, and then I got out of that because I think I got pregnant, or oh no, the school wasn't accredited. So I got out of that, and so, but it was always something that led me to the bigger picture in the world. So I always knew that I would be into some type of humanitarian work, that something that made the world make sense. And so to get into this phase um of my life, I feel like I know it can be an uphill battle at times, but that's what makes it worth it, and that's what makes it God. Sarah Jakes preached in that message, the uphill battle. She said it that when they prayed, and I don't remember the exact name of the passage she used, but basically she said if they went up the mountain and had to fight, then it was God. But if their enemies came down to them, then it wasn't God. So because it would be no effort. And this takes effort. It's a good fight. And I think that everything in this that I'm getting out of this, I woke up yesterday morning with a message from the Lord. I mean, I literally opened my eyes and he said, be humble today. And I said, Ugh. And he said, be humble today. I'm with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be humble today. And right after he said that to me, Sean Pender said the exact thing almost. Humble yourself before the Lord. And I said, okay, so humbling myself is not humbling myself necessarily to my enemy, but humbling myself. And I don't mean enemy in terms of like, I mean it. I try to be very careful with that because I'm talking about the law and what happened to me. And so we don't fight against physical beings, but it's a spiritual battle. And so the devil meant this to be in my harm in my life for everything that was meant to be evil. And God used it to build character in me. And so, no, that's not fun. No, I don't like to do that. No, no one wants to build character or focus on character when someone has done something wrong to you. But that's who Jesus is. That's who he is. That's who he was. That's his character. So I'm laying down the character of Crystal to pick up the character of Christ. And so that's pretty much all I want to say today. I don't really want to ramble. I don't want to talk a whole lot about it and um, to put myself on this pedestal as if I have grown over certain things and strategies. I want to spend my time being very careful, being very calculated, and focused on what it is that God wants to tell me and how he wants to bring me through to the other side of this mountain. Because if God don't move it, which he said he would move it, then he'll take me over it, or I'll cross it, or I'll climb it. But whatever way it goes, God told me today and yesterday that he's with me. And I had to mark this moment so that I can stay on this cloud until he takes me to the next cloud. But having that confirmation that I'm not going nowhere, I'm right here, I'm with you, and I want you to be humble. Humble yourself today. Okay. And that yesterday, I had a good day because I humbled myself and I waited on the Lord. And yeah, stuff bothered me. I didn't like everything that I saw, but I'm really, really, really learning that it ain't got nothing to do with what you see. And that's the lesson. That's my lesson. That is what that's how I'm growing in God, because I'm learning that it don't have nothing to do at all with what you see. You walk by faith and not at all by sight. So even if you see a strategy of the enemy, because you don't see the enemy, you see the workings, the inner workings of the enemy, of what he is trying to do or trying to get you to see, because what you see goes along with your senses. You perceive it, you can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it. It's annoying, you don't like it. It appeals to your senses. But faith is the substance of things, come on, that we hope for. It is the exact evidence of nothing that you see. So when you look at the bank account, if it don't say what you want it to say, then you don't look at that. Faith says that I have everything that God says. So faith in my situation says that my bank is in the overflow. I see more numbers than I can count. Never even seen that many before. I have a place to live. I have a house. I have a mortgage. God is going to provide me with a house of my own with a mortgage, a mansion. God is going to meet every need that I have. He is going to do exceeding abundantly above all that I just asked or than I even thought in my mind about the house that I want. He's going to exceed my expectations. So if he told me that this morning, if he showed me that this morning, then the manifestation comes in and how? By what? Walking it out by faith. Just like if I want to go down the street to Walmart, I cannot see Walmart from here. But I know by faith, this is God and this is really good. I know by faith that Walmart is at the end of this road. Why? Because I've already, the map says it is. I can see it if I, from going before. So I know it's there, but the houses in between are just separating us. But nevertheless, Walmart is there. So we walk by faith to our destination that God has put in our minds, that he has provided us with, that he has showed us, that he has allowed us to dream about, that he has prophesied to us. We walk to that destination by faith, and we don't worry about nothing that we see. So I don't stop at the house right here and say, I'm trying to get to Walmart, because I know that Walmart is not next to this house. I know that it's right down here. I have to keep going. I know that if I don't see it, I know that it's going to come into view. So it is when we put on faith, when we walk by faith and not by sight. So that is what I want to say today. I thought that was a wonderful, powerful analogy that God gave me. I feel really good about it. I'm happy about it. I'm thankful about what he put in my heart and in my mind. And so I want to just spend some time today doing that. I don't know what I'm going to do today. But my day and my time is in the Lord's hands. And so I'm just going to put my trust in him. And I will talk to you guys later on. But if I don't say anything else on this, I want it just to be known that the Lord has plans for his people. And they are to give us a future and to restore hope into the lives of the people and into the lives of Americans. And so I think that we're in store for something awesome. And I want to just bask in what God said and believe that if that what he said, he is capable to perform. And that I'm going to continue to walk by faith and not by sight, and just wait and see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you have a wonderful day. Jesus is Lord, and he loves you. Give your life to him. He can make a difference. Thank you so much.